Hello everyone, and welcome back to Z-Tech Advisor channel. Today, we're diving into the world of server segmentation. So, let's get started. In this lesson, we're going to continue our discussion of server segmentation by discussing the concepts of group policies and security groups, micro-segmentation, data zones, and other server-based segmentation solutions. The first method of server segmentation involves the use of group policies and security groups. Group policies and security groups are heavily used in enforcing standard operating systems in a Windows domain or other environments. Even for Windows machines that are not part of a domain, we can create local security policies to enforce settings on those workstations. Group policies and local security policies are a powerful addition to our segmentation techniques. Active Directory utilizes a hierarchical structure that allows a single group to contain multiple other groups or machines inside of them. It becomes easy to create group policy objectives, GPOs, that can be applied to all systems in the domain and to add or remove certain security policies to machines based on their group membership. Each time a workstation in the domain is booted up, shut down, logged into, or logged off from, it receives and applies the latest GPO or group policy objectives, ensuring they receive the latest security features. Additionally, a domain administrator can force a refresh of the group policy from a centralized server whenever necessary. To edit these policies and their effects, administrators use the Group Policy Management Console, GPMC, within Windows. This allows granular control to allow or disallow inheritance of a policy from one group or container into another. For example, the parent sales group might contain two groups underneath it, known as perm sales and temp sales. If I create a disabled application inside the sales group, that will be inherited by the perm sales and temp sales groups. However, I can break that inheritance to allow sales managers to use the application, even if it's blocked for perm sales and temp sales. The GPMC can also filter out specific computers or users from an enabled policy, delegate administration across the Active Directory domain, and use Windows Management Instrumentation filters to apply or exempt a policy based on specific hardware. For example, to disable all wireless cards in organizational laptops, the GPMC can create a group policy based on the brand of wireless adapter in those laptops. There are many security policies available for configuration under the GPMC, including account policies, local policies, event log, restricted groups, system services, registry, file system, public key policies, and IPsec policies on Active Directory. Microsegmentation is the next segmentation method to discuss. Microsegmentation creates zones in data centers and cloud environments to isolate and secure workloads individually. With microsegmentation, administrators can create policies that limit network traffic between workloads based on a zero-trust approach. Microsegmentation offers advantages such as reusable server roles, environment and application tags, reusable security policy templates, platform-agnostic separation, automatic audit trails for every action, and a zero-trust network with full visibility and control. Essentially, microsegmentation allows more granular security zones by creating multiple mini-DMZs across data centers, preventing an attacker from accessing every system on the network if they breach one. Instead, they are limited to the microsegment that the compromised machine is located in, reducing the total attack surface during an attack or security incident. Before segmenting networks and servers, it's important to determine what data zones exist by conducting a data topology mapping for the enterprise network. Data topologies define, classify, cluster, and manage data based on the users of that data, its constraints, its flow, and its importance. Data zones represent data with a shared purpose, need, and users. Categorizing data into data zones helps define the protections needed for each data piece. For example, a company might have data zones for financial data, student data, and proprietary data, like custom software. Each data zone has specific protection levels. Financial data might need to comply with regulations like PCI DSS for credit card data. Student data might need to meet GDPR compliance requirements. Proprietary software data has custom protection requirements based on the company's preferences. By segmenting data into different zones, resources and time can be better allocated to secure each data type appropriately. Region-based segmentation is another method, especially relevant in cloud computing. Cloud service providers allow data storage based on geographical regions. This method can segment cloud-based networks and servers by storing different types of data in different regions. For example, a multinational organization might store European employees' data within the EU due to regulations, while US employees' data could be stored in any region. This regional segmentation ensures data is stored in the appropriate region based on the user. Another cloud-based segmentation technique is the availability zone. Availability zones, AZs, are isolated locations within data center regions where public cloud services originate and operate. Regions are geographical locations used for segmentation, but many regions have multiple availability zones. For example, Amazon Web Services East, one region in Northern Virginia, has 6 availability zones. Workloads can be segmented across these zones to provide additional redundancy and minimize costs. Each availability zone can remain online with its own redundancy systems, even if another zone in the same region goes down. VPC, Virtual Private Cloud, and VNet, Virtual Network, are similar segmentation offerings from Amazon Web Services and Azure, respectively. VPC and VNet allow deploying private networks in the cloud or extending on-premise networks into the cloud. They enable creating subnets to further segment networks and use non-routable private IP addresses. Security groups and network access controls, NACLs, provide protection to VPC and VNETs, increasing segmentation. NACLs are stateless filtering rules applied at the subnet level, examining traffic entering or leaving the subnet based on allow and deny rules, similar to an ACL. Another segmentation method involves production, staging, and guest environments. Production refers to services deployed and used by the intended audience. For example, accessing ztechadvisor.com means using the production web server and features. The development team uses a set of servers mirroring the production setup to build new features, known as the development server, before moving to a staging server. After passing quality assurance and testing in the staging area, new features are deployed to the production environment for end users. Staging environments should mimic production, but are usually scaled down to save costs and resources. Development progresses to staging for final testing and design before going live in production. Guest environments are used in corporate networks for visitors with limited access. Visitors connect to a guest environment, a segmented portion of the network with restricted access to internal resources like file servers, databases, or printers. Finally, peer-to-peer segmentation occurs when 2 devices connect directly. Generally, peer-to-peer should be avoided in corporate networks due to the lack of segmentation. If used, peer-to-peer traffic should be segmented to a separate VLAN for local networks or a separate VPC or VNet in cloud-based networks. Peer-to-peer is less secure due to less segmentation but allows direct connections between 2 devices, though it's not widely used in enterprise networks except in specialized cases. And that's it for today's tutorial, folks. Hopefully, you found this guide helpful. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to our channel for more tech tips and tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.